So hi, and welcome to another review. I just got back from seeing Robocop. You know, Robocop. Part man, part machine, all cop. Still don't know? Break it down for you. Basically, police officer Alex Murphy is brutally shot down in line of duty, and he's resurrected as Robocop, crime's new metallic enemy. Still not sure? Still not what I'm going on about? Okay. Well, then have a look at this rather awesome trailer.
We get the best of both worlds. The fastest reflexes modern technology has to offer, onboard computer-assisted memory, and a lifetime of on-the-street law enforcement programming. It is my great pleasure to present to you Robocop. This guy's really good.
He's not a guy, he's a machine.
Old Detroit has a cancer. Cancer is crime.
Let the woman go. You are under arrest.
You better back up, pal!
Your move, creep.
What are your prime directives?
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Anything you say may be used against you.
He's a cyborg, you idiot! He recorded every word you said. You're dead! We killed you! His memory's admissible as evidence. You're gonna have to kill it. Get out of the car, for God's sake!
Robocop, the future of law enforcement.
Damn it. I got confused there. For a second, I thought that I was seeing this rather awesome 80s sci-fi action fest starring Peter Weller. No, I saw this.
You ready? This Detective Alex Murphy and Officer down.
We are on the eve of a technological revolution.
We need to give Americans a figure they can rally behind.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Well, that's enough of that. But, I mean, can you blame me? I mean, you compare just the trailers back to back, and you can already see a huge difference. And that's just the trailers. How do you think I felt? I actually had to sit and watch it. Now, I don't want to make this entire review a comparison, because it's just not going to work. It's like trying to compare Dumb and Dumber with Dumber and Dumberer. You know the first one is superior in every single way, and the second film is just a terrible cash-in. And the same goes with this as well. The first film is superior in every single way. And although the second film might be trying to be a reimagining and more of a, remember that old awesome film that was great? Here's a reminder of what it would look like if we made it today. It still looks terrible. And as much as I bashed and looked forward to bashing Robocop, I really wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to be proven wrong. The cast of characters made it seem as though it would be something decent. You've got Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is usually in decent roles, and his role in this film is great. But it still doesn't save the film. Samuel Jackson is in this, and his role is amusing, but it still doesn't save the film. And everything else about this film just doesn't save it at all. There's just something inherently bad about it, and I can't put my finger on it really without comparing them. So I'm going to have to compare the movies, because what else is there to do but compare the films? But all you need to know is it's terrible. It really is. I mean, it starts off great. You've got the robot, the Ed 209s and the cyborgs. I'm just going to call them Cylons because that's what they look like. They just look like Cylons. The design of them isn't all that great, but I'll get back onto the design later on. And they're in the Middle East, at least I think it's the Middle East. It's some ethnic country which America have invaded, so probably the Middle East. And they're on patrol, and it's just showing you just how well the America is policing the country, or the world even, with their Ed 209 robots. Until some terrorists decide, we're not having this, how dare you invade our country, so they decide to attack the Ed 209s with bombs attached to their chests, which don't really work, to be honest. I mean, there's not just one Ed 209, there's a fair few of them, and there's like a dozen Cylons running around. So they don't really have much of a chance. They're trying to make some sort of impact, show their disapproval of this, but it just comes off as hysterical. And there's a great scene where a kid runs out with a kitchen knife. And all I could think was, this would be a great time for Sean Connery to say, just like, Afghanistan to bring a knife to a gunfight. Because he gets blown away by an Ed 209. And I'm thinking, this is great. This film has got some promise. It's a 12, but we see a kid get blown away. Granted, we don't see it. The gun creates a plume of smoke. We don't really see anything, but it has promise. There is some violence here. This is good. This is a good start. And then, there's a shootout. And I don't know what happened between the Ed 209 destruction scene and then the shootouts for the rest of the film, because it was just wonky as hell. It was as if the director got a handheld camera and just filmed it whilst running around with the actors. And sure, it looks nice and it's a nice artistic touch, but it takes away from it. You can't focus on the action. You can't see it because there's screen blur all over the place. You need a fixed camera, or at least have different cameras all over the place. Don't have the whole, Cloverfield motion blur express. We don't need that. It takes away from the action. And then from then on, every single action scene was the same, and it felt like I was watching a video game. It was like I was watching an FPS video game, but a really bad one. Like the ones you buy, and you're going to be great. They've got 18 plastered all over the front cover, and you play it, and it lacks anything. Like you shoot a guy, you don't feel the impact. Every guy that got shot in this film just fell over like they'd been shot dead. Which they'd been shot dead, but they just fell over. There was no groaning, there was no squibs, there was nothing. People just fell over. It was like watching a really tame video game. That was just the action. This film was boring. But before all the action scenes, if we just go back to like the first half of it started off well. We had the awesome action scene at the beginning, then we come into, Alex Murphy's character, and we find out more about him and his partner, who is no longer a female, just some random black guy, for some bizarre reason. And we don't have a Clarence bodyguard in this film, we have some random goon. And random goon who does random goon things. We don't really know much about what he does, other than he's a bad man and he needs to be brought down. But you don't connect with this guy because you don't see how inherently evil he is. He doesn't go around maiming police officers. He doesn't sit them down one-on-one and talk to them whilst he's holding a shotgun and blow their arms off. He doesn't even want to kill cops. So there's nothing there for the hatred for this guy. He was basically some random goon, just higher up in the leaderboard of other random goons that are in this film, and he gets taken down. It's less than halfway into the film, and he's taken down. Robocop gets the goon that apparently tried to kill him. It just leaves you wanting, because the guy gets taken down and that's it. There's no confrontation between the two of them. There's no final words. He's there, he gets shot, and then he's no longer there. But he's not the main guy. Apparently the main bad guy is Michael Keaton. And again, they have the typical... The ending with Michael Keaton is slightly better than the boot goon bad guy, but it's still not great. But the film is just dull. So it's an action. You see Robocop in the title, you expect to see a robotic cop. A cop doing cop things, which is, in the Hollywood sense at least, blowing shit up. Shooting things for no apparent reason. Pulling your gun and shooting people. But he doesn't even do that well. He has a taser. Because I'm guessing just from the directorial point of view, they wanted to keep it a 12A, so he doesn't kill everyone he sees. He doesn't shoot everyone with lethal force. He shoots them with a taser, knocks them out. And it's not what you want to see. You want an action movie. You want body parts flying apart. You don't even have to have body parts flying apart, but you need some violence, some gore, some impact. And he just lacks all of that. The emotional depth of Alex Murphy between his family and how he's lost them and how he's coping with all the roboticism is nice. It's a nice touch. And it definitely, expressed it more in this film than it did in the latter film. But everything else, it just failed upon. The drugs, the violence, the sex, the corruption, everything was just wasn't there. It probably didn't help the fact that I'm in the cinema watching this with kids. Parents had walked in with kids. So you sat there watching this with 5-year-olds. And it shows the tone for the rest of the film, that this film is it is a kid's movie. Now, whereas I'd be happy to show my kids Robocop the original, because they'd understand that it's just a film, and Robocop the original is an adult film, but because it's blown out of all proportion, it's hilarious. There is an adult theme there, but because it's just done so ridiculous, kids can watch it. Because it's over the top. It's not realistic, and you can just enjoy it. If I had kids and I took them to see this film, they'd be bored of it. It is a boring, terrible film. I don't know what Hollywood's obsession is with creating a new film or a new franchise and hiring some director who I have no idea who the fuck is. I don't know who Jose Padilla is. And looking at his resume, no one else does. He's made a few films. They weren't all that great, apparently. And then he makes this. And he can't direct for shit. He cannot direct an action movie. It's just badly done. Very, very badly done. And I'm disappointed because I really wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to go in there and say, this film is going to be amazing. This film is going to blow me out of my seat. It's not going to be absolutely fantastic, but it'll at least be a decent remake or a decent reimagining of Robocop, and it fails on all aspects of that. There's no cop stuff going on in it. I know what it is with Samuel L. Jackson, but he did the same. It was the same in Star Wars. When we rebooted the Star Wars franchise, we were expecting to see Han Solo and Chewbacca and Darth Vader all blasting it out and shooting it out, but no, we get politics. We get politics for 2 films, and then we get a slightly decent third film. This is exactly how this film was. It was politics. If you're going to put politics in a film, at least get a better script writer. If you're going to put politics in a film, get a better director. If you're going to put politics in a film, don't have Robocop in it. Yes, politics was in the first Robocop film, but it was brushed over. It was there. If you wanted to look for it, if you wanted to find it, you'd see it. And it was like, here's politics, here's eye candy, here's eye candy. You can choose which one you want to see. You can look at the eye candy and then see the politics it comes with. Or you can just view the eye candy and stay focused on that. But this film doesn't do it. It tries to have both. It tries to have a constant view of the politics of the world, and I couldn't care. I don't care. And just this film is just, it really pisses me off. I don't know what it is about this film. I can't fully describe just how awful it is, and I'm sure if you want to go see it, you won't find it as awful as I did, but I feel raped. I feel unclean after watching this film. In fact, after watching this film and after uploading this review and waiting the half an hour it takes to put to YouTube and all the edits and everything else, I'm going to watch the original Robocop and just enjoy it for what it is, which is a cheeseball movie with some great effects and just a brilliant film. And I'll be happy to know that I never have to watch this film again. I've seen it now. I'll probably never view it again. Because it just lacks in absolutely everything. Other than the emotion, which was great, and the first scene, which pumped you up, it was just a deflation after that. It just ran on. And also, people walked out. People walked out of a Robocop film. I can understand people walking out of Her yesterday, because it was a drama, and not a lot of people are into it. It was kind of an indie movie, so people got bored. But this shouldn't be a boring film. You know, it's an action science. It's an action science fiction film. You know, that's futuristic and explosions and which it just lacks. It lacks. It lacks all that stuff. And also the inherent branding of America all the way through it was slightly annoying. You know, with Samuel L. Jackson telling you, that America's the best country in the world. If you're so good, make a better fucking movie, because this is shit. Mr. Verhoeven, who isn't American, made an awesome American movie, and it was great. And it will be remembered. Jose Padilla has made an American movie, and it was shite. And it will be forgotten. And it will be in a bargain bin. And no one will ever watch it again. Because it's crap. Very, very shit. Very, very crap. I'm running out of expletives to describe this film, but that's all it is. Just terrible, boring, dull, unwatchable. But go see it. Because you need to put yourself through this. Because I'll be damned if I'm putting myself through hell watching this if I find out that no one else was going to go watch it. Go watch the film. See for yourself. See just how god-awful it is. Because at least then I can relax knowing that someone else has had to suffer through this film. And it wasn't all for naught. Now, tomorrow I'm going to see the Lego Movie. A kids' film. Bright colours. Lack of plot, lack of anything, but I don't care. It's not Robocop. It's going to be something, and it'll be better than what I've just seen. You know, it's just... I don't know. This film, it lacks description. I want to give you a brief synopsis of what this film is good at. It's the emotional detachment. That was it. No action. Very little humour. I will note that I did like the remake. Well, not the remake. I liked it, like the added touch of the Basil Polidius theme shoved in there. It was nice to hear that. And it did get you pumped for the credits and the titles. And then the one use of, I won't buy that for $1. No, I'll buy that for $1, but I won't. And also, it was cool to see Rorschach get shot by Robocop. Actually, he didn't get shot by Robocop. It was cool to see Rorschach get shot, and Rorschach in another film. I don't quite know the guy's name, but he definitely was Rorschach. Or Freddy Krueger, depending on which film you've seen. But yeah, tomorrow, Lego Movie, happier review, better review, hopefully. And now, I'm going to go watch Robocop, because it's a brilliant film. Not this film, the Robocop film. The other one, with Peter Weller, Paul Verhoeven, and an awesome theme tune, and gore, and drugs, and girls, and tits, and robots, stuff that explodes, fun stuff. I'm going to go watch that, and I'll see you tomorrow.